What's up guys, my name is Stoody. I'd like to welcome you all back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be doing my round 13 AFL tips for the 2024 AFL season. Before we get into this week's tips, let's go ahead and see how I went last week. So last week I got 4 out of 7 correct tips, which now brings me to 83 correct tips for the season in total. So let's go ahead and see what ones I got correct and what ones I got incorrect. So here are the ones that I got correct. I tipped the Western Bulldogs to defeat Collingwood. I tipped Geelong to defeat Richmond. I tipped Fremantle to defeat Melbourne. And I tipped Gold Coast to defeat Essendon. Now the ones that I got incorrect were that I tipped Port Adelaide to defeat Carlton. I tipped Adelaide to defeat Hawthorn. And I tipped West Coast to defeat St Kilda. So let's just move on to this week's tips. So on Thursday night we have Adelaide taking on Richmond VFL. The Adelaide Oval. I'm going to be tipping Adelaide in this one by a rigged amount. Richmond were robbed big time last week against Geelong with, Richmond still playing a VFL team. Dusty will be rested for this game to, have his 300th at the MCG. So Richmond are going to be severely undermanned even more. It's basically a VFA team now, not really. It's barely a VFL team anymore. But yeah, the umpires will do whatever they can to rob Richmond in this game, so there's not really much else to say on this one. Moving on to Friday night, we have the Western Bulldogs taking on Brisbane at Marvel Stadium. I'm going to be tipping the Western Bulldogs in this one by 19 points. It's at home for the Bulldogs, who just got a pretty good win against Collingwood. So I think they'll be tough to beat at home. Brisbane are a shit show, they're a joke now, so I can't see Brisbane getting the win at Marvel against the Western Bulldogs. If they can't even beat Hawthorn at Marvel when, they had all the match fixing on their side, then they're definitely not beating the Western Bulldogs at Marvel. Not a chance. So I'm going to be tipping the Bulldogs in this one. Moving on to Saturday afternoon, we have Hawthorn taking on the GWS Giants at UTAS Stadium. I'm going to be tipping the GWS Giants in this one by 30 points. Hawks are in some pretty good form, but I think the Giants should still be way too strong for the Hawks in this one. Regardless of whether it's at UTAS Stadium or not. GWS are a good team. They're a premiership contender. They should be able to get the job done against Hawthorn, against a team that's, a bottom 4 contender. So moving on to Saturday twilight, we have West Coast taking on North Melbourne at Optus Stadium. I'm going to tipping North Melbourne in this one by 5 points. Most people will be going West Coast, but the reason why I'm tipping North Melbourne is because, North will be desperate to finally get a win on the board. They've just had a break. Just had their bye, and West Coast are without Harley Reid, and they seem to be awful without Harley Reid, even though Harley Reid's severely overrated, but for some reason he just seems to give them a boost regardless of how well or badly he plays. So I just think North are going to go over to Optus Stadium and get the victory in this one. Not many people have tipped North, but I am, and I just have a feeling North are going to win this game. Moving on to Saturday night, we have St Kilda taking on Gold Coast at Marvel Stadium. We're going to tipping St Kilda in this one by 22 points. At Marvel, I think St Kilda should be able to get the job done. The Suns don't travel very well, so in St Kilda, they got a confidence boost last week getting the win against West Coast, so I think they can get the job done here in, a little bit of an upset, I guess you could say. Moving on to Sunday afternoon, we have Sydney taking on Geelong at SCG. I'm going to tipping Sydney in this one by 35 points. In reality, Geelong have actually lost 5 in a row, but due to match fixing, they robbed Richmond last week. So this will be 6 losses in a row for Geelong. Sydney just clearly the better team. It's at home for Sydney, so the Swans will be able to defeat Geelong, I think, pretty comfortably in this one. And moving on to a bullshit Sunday night game. Not many people are going to be able to watch this, mate. We've got Essendon taking on Carlton at the MCG, so one of the bigger matches of the year, and they have it on a fucking Sunday night. Like, what are you thinking, Andrew Dillon? But anyway, I'm going to do Carlton in this one by 20 points. Essendon brought back down to earth last week against Gold Coast, and I think they'll continue to be brought back down to earth against Carlton. I mean, this game could go either way, but I think Carlton are just too good, too strong for Essendon. Will Essendon start to, fall down the ladder as they usually do? We'll wait and see. I think they will. And Carlton, I think are definitely a top 4 contender, so should be able to get the job done here. And moving on to Monday afternoon, it looks like they actually did bring back this as a public holiday. It hasn't been a public holiday since 2016, so they've actually brought this one back. So finally, they're actually having the King's birthday game on the King's birthday for the first time in 8 years. So we have Collingwood taking on Melbourne at the MCG. Now, this one's a bit of a tough one because Collingwood have a million injuries. Melbourne just got absolutely annihilated against Fremantle. Only 9% to Fremantle, and I was part of that 9%. Fremantle were always winning that, always. But I'm going to be tipping Collingwood in this one by 7 points. I just don't know how Melbourne can recover from almost losing by 100 points at home against Fremantle, That was a terrible loss from Melbourne. Collingwood have all these injuries, so that gives Melbourne a chance, but yeah, maybe I'll change my tip on this one depending on if Collingwood get anyone back or not. Guess we'll wait and see, but I think Collingwood are the better team, and I think they'll get the win, at least as of now. So yeah, I guess that's it for my tips for this week. Feel free to leave your tips in the comment section down below. Or if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment for more content like this. Be sure to become a channel member. Just click the join button next to my name. Also, be sure to subscribe to my premium member, Sean Ducks. Link to his channels in the description. Also, be sure to subscribe to my other YouTube channels. Be sure to subscribe to my backup channel, Stoody TV. And also be sure to subscribe to my second YouTube channel, Stoody Archives. Links to both of those are in the description. Also be sure to join my Discord server. It is called Australian Sports Community. Link to that is also in the description. Also be sure to follow me on my other social media accounts. I have Instagram, I have Twitter, and I also have TikTok. The username for all those is StoodyYT. Links to all those will also be in the description. I hope you had a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video.